Have you considered breaking up with someone and wondered how they will react? Stay tuned to learn a 4-card spread to answer that question. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot 1 card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 4-card spread to figure out how a boyfriend will react to a breakup. I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there's a link below. This question was posted anonymously online by a woman who I will call Chloe. And her question was, how is my boyfriend going to feel when I end things with him? Chloe drew 4 cards. Although she didn't use a spread, I will be using the 4-card long-term emotional impact spread to see how her boyfriend will feel, short-term and long-term, about the breakup. Card number 1 looks at how the breakup affects her boyfriend's emotions in the short term, and Chloe drew the Lovers. Card number 2 looks at what feelings will persist in the medium term, which is weeks or months. Chloe drew the 3 of Swords. Card number 3 looks at how her boyfriend will feel about the relationship in a year or so, and she drew the Hanged Man. Card number 4 looks at what lasting lessons or emotions her boyfriend will experience as a result of the breakup. Chloe drew Death. Let's begin by talking about my first impressions. We have 3 major arcana cards, so I think this is a big deal for the boyfriend. We also see a couple of heartbreak cards, which are the 3 of Swords and Death. On first glance, I don't think that Chloe's boyfriend will do well with this breakup. Let's look at each card individually. Card number 1, the Lovers, looks at how the breakup affects Chloe's boyfriend's emotions in the short term. The Lovers represent a major decision in life between 2 people, and that includes falling in love. The boyfriend did not take their relationship lightly. I believe that, in his mind, he believed they had a strong relationship and he was in love with Chloe. There are a couple of things to notice about this card now that we know that Chloe ended the relationship. First, we can see that there's a lot of stuff going on between the couple. Specifically, we see the Archangel Raphael. We also see a lot of clouds between the couple and Archangel Raphael, who is forming a barrier between the couple and the sun. Rather than standing in the sunlight, the couple are in shadows, so they're already under a bit of a dark cloud. Archangel Raphael helps with healing, protection, and journeys, and we can see his outstretched wings protecting the couple. This doesn't mean that the couple will end up together. It could mean that, if their relationship doesn't work, Archangel Raphael will help them both as they heal their hearts and get ready for another relationship. Something else to notice is that they are not looking at each other. Chloe is looking at the angel and the boyfriend is looking at Chloe. So I expect that the boyfriend was shocked about the breakup. He thought things were going well, possibly to the point that he believed that Chloe loved him. Yes, there might have been some warning signs, but he missed them. Card number 2, the 3 of Swords, looks at what feelings will persist in the medium term, which is weeks or months. Now we've gotten to the heartbreak card. The boyfriend's poor heart has been pierced 3 times with a sword. If you've ever been through the misfortune of a breakup, I think you can relate to the feeling of being stabbed in the heart. Another feeling is betrayal. For someone to get close enough to you to stab you 3 times, it would have to be someone you know who really, really wanted to finish you off. This is a bit gruesome, but I've always felt that being stabbed was way on the bottom of my list of the way I wanted to leave the planet. It's violent and painful, and it can take a long time for you to die. I decided to do a bit of research to see what the likelihood was of surviving 3 stab wounds to the heart, and the answer was it is not very likely. That's due to 2 major issues: massive bleeding and damage to the structure of the heart, which means that you can't pump blood to the rest of the body. If you did manage to recover, it would take a very long time. We also see the stormy rain clouds and the rain. This indicates that the boyfriend is feeling disappointed and depressed. So I think for the next few months following the breakup, Chloe's boyfriend will be experiencing feelings of heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment, and depression. Things are so bad that I don't think he even believes that he will survive. Card number 3, the Hanged Man, looks at how her boyfriend will feel about the relationship a year from now. The Hanged Man is a card that acknowledges that the boyfriend is in a difficult situation. I think this card signifies that he had to surrender to the breakup, examine his beliefs about his and Chloe's roles in the breakup, and change his perspective. And that likely means that he realized that Chloe was not the only one at fault. I believe that, following the anguish of the few months following the breakup, the boyfriend took some time to pause and evaluate how he was feeling. He might have even gone to therapy. I don't think that any of us would feel comfortable hanging from a T-shaped structure by our foot, along with having our arms tied behind our back. That's probably what the breakup felt like to him. Yet we see him looking quite relaxed and at peace, so he's likely had some kind of a spiritual transformation following the breakup. So why is the Hanged Man considered to be a spiritual card? There are two reasons. One is that this card represents sacrifice or martyrdom. In 12th century paintings, Jesus was actually shown hanging upside down on a cross, so that's where the martyrdom piece came from. It is possible that the boyfriend considered that he was innocent in the breakup and viewed himself as a total martyr in the situation. However, I don't think so. The cross represents different paths in life. The horizontal beam represents the linear path from birth on the left to death on the right. We are all on the horizontal path. The vertical beam represents the spiritual path that includes your thoughts, emotions, and connection with spirit. This is the path that the boyfriend is now aligned with, which we can see because his body is completely vertical. The boyfriend's upside-down position puts him between the heavens above and the underworld below. His legs point toward heaven, which also shows a connection to the spiritual world. I feel like the breakup led to a real transformation in how the boyfriend views the world. He now looks upon the breakup with a more spiritual lens. He either sees himself as growing spiritually, which I think is the case, or he sees himself as a martyr. Whatever his mindset, he's learned to let go of his old ideas, and I think he's come to terms with the breakup and sees it as being in his best long-term interest. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It's free for you, and it will also help me to grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. Card number 4, Death, looks at what lasting lessons or emotions Chloe's boyfriend will experience as a result of the breakup. When I see the Death card show up in a reading, my first thought is always that it is not good news. And it could mean that the boyfriend is experiencing such anguish that he chooses to die, possibly by suicide. However, the previous card revealed that the boyfriend had processed the breakup and was now seeing the world differently. That doesn't make me believe that he's going to kill himself. Most commonly, the Death card means transformation or rebirth, which I think is the case here. The skeleton on the horse is holding a black flag that shows a white rose surrounded by 5 ears of corn. The white rose symbolizes beauty, purification, and rebirth. Many tarot scholars believe that this is the Tudor rose, which represents England's transformation from the destruction of the War of the Roses, which was a series of civil wars fought in the 1400s, to the peace of the Tudor dynasty. Death is a part of life, and so is heartbreak. Black symbolizes loss and ending, and the skeleton is wearing black armor and a black helmet. The Death character is protected by his armor, whereas the other people in the card have no such protection. There is a white cross on the skeleton's chest plate that represents the purification that happens with death. I believe that the boyfriend went through a lot of heartbreak after Chloe broke up with him. He grieved, saw the world as a terrible place, and was completely gutted by the experience. However, as the months went by, the heartbreak lifted. He gained a new perspective and he saw the experience as transformational. It set him on a new path. I think that the boyfriend recognized that he ultimately had a choice about how he could deal with the breakup, and these choices are represented by the people on the ground. We see a king who is clearly dead and has been trampled by the horse. I think the boyfriend recognizes that the experience could have killed him, or if it got to be too much, he could have killed himself. In the right corner, we see a maiden. She is wearing a white dress, which represents her innocence, and she's looking away. This is something else the boyfriend could have done. He could have considered himself to be a completely innocent party and tried not to think about the experience. We can also see a young boy wearing blue. He's too young to know what's going on. I think the boyfriend could have convinced himself that he was naive and played no part in the breakup. The final choice is shown by the religious man, who is shown in yellow, who is looking directly at the horse. This represents religious beliefs that allow people to face death without fear and maybe even welcome it. I think this is the path that the boyfriend has chosen. After his transformational spiritual experience in the Hanged Man, he's learned to accept that hard things happen in life. He's faced his feelings, gained a new perspective, and accepted that he can move on in his life. So let's summarize how we think Chloe's boyfriend is going to feel when she ends things with him. Card number 1, the Lovers, tells us that the boyfriend will be initially shocked. He believed that Chloe loved him, and if warning signs of the problem were there, he missed it. Card number 2, the Three of Swords, looks at how the boyfriend is feeling during the next few weeks or months. And the answer is that things will be so bad for him that he doubts that he will survive. Card number 3, the Hanged Man, looks at how her boyfriend will feel about the relationship a year from now. He is now relaxed and at peace. He's grown spiritually and come to terms with the breakup to the point that he sees it as being in his long-term interest. Card number 4, Death, looks at what lasting lessons or emotions Chloe's boyfriend will experience as a result of the breakup. He's learned to accept that hard things happen in life and he's not immune from pain. He's realized that he had a choice in how to deal with the breakup. He's chosen to face his feelings, gain a new perspective, and move on with his life. I hope that this video gave you some ideas that you can apply to your tarot practice. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you've learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.